So, welcome to the screen. I'm just about to let me see if I could get adjust my camera just a little bit. Perfect. Hope that you can hear me. I've just sat down. I'm thinking about planning the actual EP right now. So, I did list a few things, a few notes just before I recorded to started recording. I've named my EP Workaholic. Hopefully, what I was thinking about was step number one. You gotta set the right vibe to an EP. Basically, you should decide the whole project, what type of vibe you want for that specific project. Now, in the winter time as I'm recording this, or it's about to be winter, so it's not gonna be too hype or too much club vibe, since people aren't gonna listen to this on the beach or when on the club or whatever, because usually they probably gonna listen to this at work or at home after work. So that's what I'm thinking that I should kind of like plan around, so that the project itself fits the actual listener. So I have to like become the listener in some respect. Um, so I want the whole project to be kind of a mellow hip hop type vibe, and then I listed some thoughts. I thought it would be nice to have a lo-fi beat or some slow R&B, and maybe some classic boom bap, or some mellow trap like Post Malone. And where are people gonna listen to it? Uh, Hopefully at work, like in the office space. You can't be too hype, or if they on the way to work, their daily commute. I'm just gonna be super simple and minimalistic with the beats and also with the lyrics. In some beats the lyrics gonna be quite prominent. I listed one or two tracks, and then for other beats there's gonna be a slow vibe, maybe a lo-fi type beat, where lyric isn't that important, but the vibe and the general feeling about the track is. So the first song, I've listed my intro to have a lot of space. I want it to be vibrant. I want some vocal chop, I think. At least I want spacious pads, minimalistic keys, um, and then simple flow. The beat's gonna dominate the entire track basically in the intro. I want it to be super simple. People are just gonna hear it for the first time, probably come into the groove of the whole project. The second track is gonna be a little bit more upbeat. What have I wrote? I wrote mellow trap, uh, and a little bit more interesting lyrics. So I think that the second song on this project is gonna be the title song, um, in um, in this project. So this is the one that I'm gonna market the most, and I'm gonna spend probably the most time with this second track. And the third one, probably a boom bap. I don't know, or something like that. The fourth one, that could be a lo-fi. I don't know. I'm just spitting out ideas, and then the last one could be, I don't know, outro. I don't know what's gonna be at that one, but let's say 4 to 5 tracks. This might be the outro, um, boom bap or lo-fi. I don't know, something like that. In general, this is the plan for the whole project. So basically, when you deciding a topic for your project, think of the listener. Where are they going to listen to the project? Either make the beats to fit that idea, or find beats that do. So you shouldn't just take a dope beat because you found one and then just chunk it into a project that has a completely different tone to it, or vibe. So I worked I've created a folder called Workaholic EP, and within this folder is where I'm gonna put all the stuff that we're gonna work with. So the first track that I'm going to work with, it's the first one, the intro. I'm just gonna see, I think I already have it. Yeah, perfect. So for this beat, I did it before recording just to save some time. But I started off with a pad from Expand 2 or Expand Square, I don't know. Soft pad called Angels Plus, and basically just going in to the score or to the piano roll rather. I started off with triads. This. So what I did, I just started off with these two notes. Something like that. And then just to give it a little bit more vibe, I added I think it's an E, the actual E. The whole song is in E minor, by the way. Just because I just feel that it's a bit more emotional than a major scale. If you're thinking about majors and minors and stuff, there's plenty of YouTube videos on it. You can just Google that. But major is a bit more happy, and minor is a bit more sad. I'm just thinking that that's a bit more the vibe that I'm having right now. So that's why it became that. I added this bass note, or not a bass note, but this E, so it became a longer extended note, just to underpin the whole idea that was going on up here. And still I thought it was a little bit too thin, so I just added the same note progression or the same chord progression that I have in the middle here, a lower octave, or basically I was these that I lowered one octave. I thought that sounded so dope. So that's the first pad. That's like the main idea that I had. And then what I did was that I arpeggiated the actual notes that I did. So I haven't changed anything. I just arpeggiated it, which basically means that I want the notes to jump up and down, pretty random, one octave or within the same octave. But what I did was that I raised the whole all notes one octave to additionally. So this is how it sounds without the arpeggiator. Exactly the same as the one before, or the first pad, but just an octave higher. And then when I arpeggiated it, it gave us this cool contrast. If I layer these two together, then it's beautiful. And I think that, sets the tone quite good. The BPM that I've chosen for this track is 110 right now. I might slow it down a bit or go a little bit faster. I haven't started with the lyrics and stuff just yet, so I don't know. But I started out at 120 BPM. That's where Logic by default sets, at least my Logic does as default, set it to 120. So I just took that down to 110 and then started with the notes. Then after that I have a third pad that's also with the expander, which is, it's not a pad, it's actually a piano. So I'm just gonna relabel this as piano, and then pad, this is also a piano then. So going in here, I just layer these keys, kind of like the same chord progression as I have in the pads. This is how it sounds without the melody on top. Super simple, just exactly like the pads, and they are going. Boom. Then I added a melody, which I just recorded. It didn't take too long, so it wasn't super complex or anything. Thought that sounded sweet. And then for the second part I'm usually doing these in 8-bar loops. So for the second part, I just rearrange it a little bit just to give it a little bit more flavor. If I'm going too fast, I mean, I just jumped straight into the project. Just tell me in the comment section and I'll go back. I just didn't want people that maybe are a bit advanced to get super boring. Yeah, and what I did then after that, I took my little piano piece. I bounced this as an audio file, and then I chopped it up, and then I used the sampler to sample my own keys basically. And then the sample that I used, I just took in tiny parts of the actual melody and just rearranged them. Oh, sorry, I got halftone on. This is how it sounded like when I recorded it. Super repetitive, but I just wanted something in the background to just be a bit of, to add some variation to the beat. I added halftime on it, and so you're just gonna circle a half a bar. It just gives that, mellow vibe to it. So that's basically all that goes for the melody part of it. So that's basically the first part of the whole track. And then I thought, let's add some drums, and here are the actual drums. For drums, I use Ultra Beat as my sequencer. Added some presets to the actual to Ultra Beat, so I got my own presets with samples already loaded. I went for the R&B and jazz kit that I have. If anybody wants the sounds that I'm using, just comment down below and I'll make a beat pack or anything. Let's see here. I'm doing this one snare. Sounds like that. Then I layer that with a clap. Super simple. And then a second snare. And together that sounds a bit like this. So it's not too much, but I just think it gives the whole snare a bit more body and a bit more bite than just adding one snare. After that, I added this cool, I would call it a perk, but it's this spaced out snare basically. So and then at the end I just added a ride basically, or a two different rides, which just lets the sound just sound a bit fuller basically. So that's the drums, and then the kick. What did I do with the kick? Let's see here. Okay, so I started off with this kick, which I thought was quite right. Let's just delete that for now. But still, I wanted something a little bit more with the kick, so I added a second kick just for some low end in the kick. This is a bit too top end focused kick, so I just wanted the whole kick to be a bit more rounded off. And then my darling of all darlings, the 808. I added this simple pattern. I just wanted to keep it so simple. As I said, we want it to be really, really simple. Everything's just gonna be simple. It's gonna be a mellow project. We don't want to, fancy up stuff too much. As you can see, the 808 follows the same pattern as the pads that I'm having going on here, or the bass notes of the pad. Super simple. So that's for the verse, and then the 808 for the chorus. It's exactly the same basically, but what I did was that I lowered the velocity of the middle note in the actual piano roll, sorry. And then I also added the one octave higher, some top notes, just to give it a bit more, just giving it a bit more power in the mixing total. So if I just listen to it without the top end, as I call it, the top end, it just sounds exactly the same. And why did I use different velocities? I just think it gave it a little bit more bounce. Then adding the top end, it just brings it out a little bit more. But you still hear that rumble, right? So that's basically it for this beat. Then I have some unfinished ideas that I didn't get to realize, finalize. We can just put them in. At the end, like that. So basically, this is the beat so far. And I haven't done any automation, I haven't done any mixing, any mastering, just a little bit of volume leveling, but I haven't done anything to the actual beat in terms of perfecting it. So I will go through that. I'm just wanted to have that, stated, if it sounds a bit too grungy and stuff. that's the beat. Basically that's it. There's the intro track of the EP. Not too much going on. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's spacious, it's vibrant, as we said. I think it does have some at least bass pads. I didn't have a vocal chop. I might try to add that. But it did have some. It was a super simple. We did follow what we set up to complete, and I'm quite happy with it. So this is the first beat of the Workaholic EP. Thanks for watching to this video and this review of the beat. I'll go more in depth as I'm progressing. I'm just gonna mix it now and then master it just a little bit. Then I'm gonna start with the vocal idea, hook and the verse and all that good stuff, and I'm just gonna record that as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Take care, fam.